Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. We are Millennial Mom. If you don't know who is who, I'm Millennial. This is Mom.
We are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, I'm Mom or Kay from Millennial Mom, and today we're going to talk about Married at First Sight, Season 16, Episode 24, Reunion, Part 1 of Nashville. I don't know. I don't think we really got too many answers. Maybe we didn't know. They left us off with the cliffhanger, and seeing the experts next week might be where the rest of the information will come from. Now, I read somewhere that this reunion was actually taped in March, so that wasn't that long ago. So we'll have to see. Kevin is the host again this year. All the couples look good. I was not surprised by any of Eris's answers, comments, suggestions, whatever he was trying to get across at all. I also wasn't surprised at Nicole being, again, the spokesperson for the ladies. And, you know, even Kevin said, maybe you could take over being in my chair kind of thing. Let's see, Clinton Gina, a little surprised just by the comment of Kevin asking, was there any possibility because they look good together? Would there be something? Could they be together going down the way, you know, as life progresses? And they're both like, you never know. But why ask that question if Clint said that he has a girlfriend that he's been seeing for a few months? So that didn't necessarily go together. And here's the thing, just because you look good sitting next to each other, and just because the answer that you gave on paper seemed to match, that doesn't mean that's your soulmate or your forever. That's what I don't get with the experts, Kevin and anybody else that happens to think like, oh, they look good together, they should be together. No, it doesn't work like that. So hello to everyone again. And if you are experiencing those the hailstorms in Colorado, across the plains, in Texas, and wherever the storms are, be safe. We're thinking about you. So, you know, if you don't have to be online, if you have power, because I know some people don't, you know, be safe. So just want to put that out there. If you haven't already joined the channel or subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button, leave your comments, and tell a friend to tell a friend. We're almost at our goal of 2,000. So I guess for the whole time that Millennial has been doing her masters, I've been holding it down, gaining new subscribers. I'm sure some people like to hear the younger perspective. So she'll be back soon to give the mom-daughter perspective. But until then, you have me. And once we reach that 2,000 threshold, we will be doing a $50 Amazon giveaway that is open right now to those who reside in United States and United States territories only at this time. So let's see who's in the chat with me today to talk about Married at First Sight. Oh, Devontae, or is it Vontae? I'll have to see if you come up on the screen. Hello, and Sharon, hey, and the Jasmine Show. And Frappes and Tea, Ola, and Miss Cynthia. Hello, hello, hello. And hello to everyone on the replay. So you guys tell me in the chat, you want me to drop the link if you want to come up, or you just want me to do it over you? Because did it really give what it was supposed to give, this reunion? And why are they spreading it out? You know what? I don't know if I uploaded it to my banners here, but it's on the review I did, how much longer this season is going to be. Now, there's going to be some filler episodes with like, where are they now? What are they doing? I'm not reviewing that. I'm just putting out there, I'm not reviewing that because I don't care. Okay? I will do the reunion part 2, and I might take a peek at the episode right after that. Where are they now? Which is July 5th. But July 12th, the T from A to Z, and July 19th, a look back in Nashville. Nope, you're on your own for that one. Not going to be looking back. And the T, we haven't got any of this along right now. So what is the T? They should have gave the T when we watched the whole 6 months of the show. Nothing has changed. So You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and drop the link right now because it's easier, and I would like to hear your perspectives. And you know what? There's no reason to keep us a long time today because nothing's really was said on part one. Part two is where the juicy part is, which usually it is for most shows, right? It's usually the second part or the third part, whichever they do. Yeah. So exactly, Jasmine Show. There's no tea, so why do it 2 more weeks? Um, Also, too, there are sneak peeks of the Married at First Sight Denver cast right now. They're not showing a whole lot. They did on MAFS fan page on IG. If anyone has IG, she does, or he or she. I keep saying shit because I don't know if they're male or female. They do have up the couples that's supposed to be on the show. But you know what? Until I personally see it on like the People magazine version of the couples, because that's usually who announces it with the pictures and the family and the bios, then I will, present it to y'all and we could do a before the season kicks off, something like that. So yeah. Frappes and T said you missed last night's episode. I mean, you really didn't miss a whole bunch, but we could get into it though. So, all right. So if you're ready backstage, you know how this works. Thumbs me up, thumbs me down, let me know. You ready? Okay, here we go. All right, let's welcome the Jasmine Show. Hey, Jasmine.
Hi, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
I'm just waiting for this tea that doesn't exist.
I'm saying if they had tea, we would have seen it by now, right?
I would think so.
I mean, it's only been 6 months worth of Married at First Sight Nashville. Where's the tea? So anyway, so how'd you feel about Kevin hosting the show?
I like Kevin. I feel like he's a good host. He's interactive. He asks good questions. But there's something, I just feel like some things he pushes on. I feel like he be a little bit, what is the word? He asks some messy questions sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Like it reminds me of like something that Andy would say on like Real Housewives type.
Oh, for Watch What Happens Live, Andy Cohen?
Yeah.
Okay. Sharon says he wasn't messy, not yet anyway. You know what, Sharon? He did throw like a little something because I wrote it down. When he asked a question about, so who would you date from another show? When he talked to Jasmine, he said, it's Gil. And then he said, Dominique, aren't you talking to Gil? I was like, that was mess. That was shade. So he threw
There was another one. Because he called when they called Nicole's dad, and he was like, well, does Chris have BDE? I'm like, that's messy.
That is messy. That is. Let me read a comment. Frappes and T said, did you see the tweet that said Shaq should just hook up with? Oh, I couldn't even finish it. I could not even finish that statement. No. OMG. I did not see. Girl, cite your source. Are you serious? Wow, that is messy. I did not see that. That's, oh my gosh. Backstage, are you ready? Thumbs me up when you are, sir. Okay. Here we go. It's Vontae. Ooh, outside looks nice and cool and crisp.
You feel me? It's only 70 out here.
Whatever. You're bragging. That's good. You're safe.
What's going on?
Wow. That is so. I'm still stuck on this comment. Wow. I did not see that. Whoever did that was like being some serious shady boots.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. I'm doing pretty good. How about you, sir?
I'm doing good. What they say?
The comment was, you're caught up on 90 Day now, right?
Who?
Wait, are you caught up on the 90 Day franchise?
Yeah.
Did you see the comment?
Yeah, I see the comment. Who is that? Oh, is that? What the?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I just had to make sure. Okay.
Yes. But I think Kevin's a good host too, because I know a lot of people were saying, well, maybe Keisha would take it over.
Is Keisha the other one that's been doing the last week? Oh no, not Keisha. I actually enjoyed the other lady that did the cast tell-all thing last week.
Jamel.
I think her name is Michelle. Michelle
with a J.
No, not Jamel Hill. Not Jamel Hill. It's a black lady with a short haircut.
Oh, then I missed it.
Oh, I think I know you're talking about the
I
one who
think
was with the old cast members.
yes, yes. I
Okay,
really like
okay.
her actually.
Yeah,
Oh,
she was
okay.
had some good stuff.
Yeah.
All right. So at the reunion, since Frappes and T dropped that bomb, she just said she didn't see the episode. So Kevin just asked general question to start, like, is it weird to have people watching you and giving their opinions? Nicole was the first one to answer, right? She's like, oh my God, it is a little bit, but now I know how it feels to have people in your business, and she's nosy,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then he asked who was in the DMs. And then Dom was talking about there's more unhappy people than happy people, and she's getting requests for cleavage pics. I'm not surprised at that because remember when Dom and Mac first met, he said he likes
Uh-huh.
stuff that was more heavy in the chest. So that's probably where she gets that from. Go ahead,
I
Jazz.
think
Wow.
that Dom, it was bothering me. I feel like Dom's styling, I think she dressed like her mom would dress.
Oh, at the reunion, why did I think the same thing? I was
It
like,
was
why
like
she
she
look like her
dressed
mama?
old. Yeah.
Mm,
Not old in a bad way. Like
Hey,
if she
you
was
know I'm
like
on the
40,
grill.
50, 60, like that would be fine. But I'm just like, what is she wearing?
They
Like
must have seen the spatula.
it looked like when your mom sends you to prom at 15, but it's mom's style and not yours. That's what she looked like.
oh, okay. I didn't pick up on that. Maybe because I'm 50.
But that's what I'm saying. So if you see somebody that's like 20 wearing that, I'm like, why is she wearing that?
That's true. You're right. Let's see. We talked about the Kevin asking her about Jasmine about Gil. And then also too, what's up with Clint living in the same building with Chris and Nicole saying, oh, this is like my second husband. I said, what?
That was weird. It
So
definitely was weird.
go ahead,
I
Devontae.
mean, hey, what's the problem with it? I mean, that was weird, but it's Nicole. So it's just like, I mean, it must I guess everybody is shopping in the same areas, or they all got the same amount sort of money because I don't know how they keep on ending up living by. Like, what a coincidence.
No, I mean, it's not a big deal to happen to live in the same building, but
Yeah.
it's a coincidence for Clint. The first time it was a coincidence, Clint and Gina, but this time it seems more like, oh, let me, see, what's up. And then, he's missing Hank. They have 3 dogs. So when Nicole was like, oh, he meets us at the dog park, he cooks us
Yeah.
dinner, I'm like, it's not a coincidence. Clint was like dog stalking to see who he can, pick up
He
on.
just need to get his own dog. It's never that
Me
serious.
too.
Just get your own dog,
Me
bro.
too.
That's
That's true.
weird. Because
Oh,
once you get a man,
mm-hmm. That's it. Frappes and tea, whatever you put your source as, it must have been deleted. It's not on here. So how you gonna do that at the camera, Devontae?
no, I didn't do it. I didn't do it at the camera because it's an iPad.
Oh, it looked like it, but anyways.
Yeah, my head just went to the camera. I was over here.
Cynthia said Dom looked cheap and a mess. Her makeup too. Ooh.
Thank you. Thank you.
I ain't gonna comment. I didn't see. I don't know.
Mm.
I don't ever be peeping game on the makeup side. I don't know if it's good or bad, but okay.
I mean,
You
she
saw
I just know
everybody
you're.
else's makeup.
Yeah, I
Jasmine
just know
looked
you're not
good.
supposed to be orange on camera, right? That's when
true.
it's real
That's
bad.
true.
Okay, see, I learned something. My wife taught me something. Okay.
There you go.
Everybody makeup looked good. Everybody hair looked good except for hers.
She just looked like she was presenting, besides the outfit, just in general, she looked like she was trying to present old. You know what I mean? Older than 25.
Well,
Because everybody
if that
saying
was
she
what she was going
immature.
for, she nailed it.
Nailed it. Okay. And then we get to Kevin asking McKinley, talking about he moved into his house. Again, that's not news. We saw that 2 episodes ago.
Right.
Again, so where's the tea for MAFS Nashville? Where only tea we got was Clint is in the same building with Chris and Nicole cooking for them and walking their dogs. That's it.
Yeah, he a good friend because I don't know about that.
Sharon said Dom looked 50 years old and in that dress.
it was the one sleeve. I don't know what it was like
It
the
was the
rhinestones.
bedazzled. It was the little pin up. The makeup was super dark.
Right.
I'm like, everybody else had neutral makeup. Girl, you could not have got a bronze, a brown, or gold or something. It was just
right.
super
She
pretty.
was like she was on Basketball Wives or something reunion.
Oh my goodness. Oh good. All right. So then let's move to the clip where they show Eris's cousin calling out Jasmine and the pageants that she was doing and just that whole little situation. I was really hoping that we were going to see the cousin because this would be her time to shine. You know, yes, we know you didn't come to the wedding, the reception, all that stuff. You didn't support Eris, but now's the time to say whatever it is that you had to say. And I was disappointed that it was Jasmine's friend Adrian. I'm like, who?
I wouldn't have showed up for real if I was the cousin. For what? He ain't with
No,
her no
because she would
more.
have got
And I was
dragged.
right. I was right. I was hating on the prom queen answers thing, but everything else, I was
Mhm.
right.
Okay.
I
Well,
I think that the cousin was a punk for not showing up.
Think so?
She was like going so hard. Like, I feel like she never gave Jasmine a chance, and it kind of, we know Eris didn't really give work on it, but maybe if she was more supportive, it could have made the difference where he at least would have tried and learned something.
mhm.
But I feel like the cousin, she just did not want to like Jasmine. Jasmine did nothing wrong to this girl.
Right. Right.
And Jasmine was about to go in on Mac too at some point. He said he added in some 2 cents. She was not here for it.
Right. About Eris and, excusing his behavior as to why he didn't stick up for her. But there's no reason to excuse that behavior. Eris was Eris. Eris never changed anything about himself. I'll give him points for being honest to a certain degree, but that's it. Everything else was immature and just out of line because he's not ready emotionally, physically, or mentally for this type of process. Saying that you aren't attracted to your spouse and you wanted to wait to have sex until after the 8 weeks, if it worked out, was honest and that was responsible. But really, outside of that, that was it. That was really
That's
it
true.
for me. I don't know
Mhm.
about you all. So,
I agree.
let's see. So after round robin questions, the first cup up is Jasmine and Eris, which I'm glad he got them out the way. Do you No, seriously, aren't you? Like, get them out the way first.
Yeah.
The least amount of tea.
Yes. So when Kevin questioned him about the body type he was looking for, and of course, he brought up the Serena Williams, and then he said Zendaya. He's like, "Oh, I didn't say Zendaya." Then they showed the original clips of Pastor Cal and him sitting down, where he actually did not say it. And when they came back from the clip, Jasmine was like, "Well, I'm in between the two." I'm thinking, to me, she borders more on the Zendaya side, just
Like,
not as thin. You're not
that's I said she's a medium. She's a
medium.
medium. Yes. I'm like,
Okay.
he want a medium, you a medium. That's not the same thing.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I'm
she
like,
got
you're
to she got to
not
eat a couple. She got to eat like 2 burgers at the picnic every time this year. Get to what he talking about. I thought when Jasmine cousin came out, I
that.
thought that was the ex. I was like, oh, he like him that thing. Okay. And
Why
then I
you
was like,
going with
oh,
the ex?
huh? No, no. I thought, they met. Kevin and them messy. So I thought they was like, you finally like, what is your type? Okay, we gonna bring your ex out. Then we was gonna be like,
Oh, okay. Yeah. And I also was not surprised. Excuse me, Devontae. I wasn't surprised when they were asking, was Jasmine still with the friend boy? I really wish she wouldn't have put that label on him because that sound like
When
he's like a
did she say
teenager.
that?
I don't know. She sound like she's a teacher with one of her students or something. I don't
It
like that.
do. It sounds no.
Yeah. And then was he
you don't
still?
like it? I thought it was a little. I thought it's like a little. Maybe it's a little cute thing. You're my friend
No.
boy.
I feel like we are grown. Nobody is with no boy. That's your man. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
I don't know. I guess whatever floats your boat, Vontae. But anyway, when Eric said he wasn't with Kendra anymore, there was no second date. Didn't you say that, Devontae, that he wasn't going to have the
Oh,
second date with her? Wasn't that you?
with the lactose intolerant.
Yes.
Yeah, they was talking about basic stuff. If what we got to common is like being lactose intolerant, we all black. No,
Yeah, I thought, yeah.
absolutely not.
No, it was the Jesus thing. I know it was the Jesus thing that got him. Because he was like, yeah,
Think so?
everybody can do their own thing or
Oh
whatever.
yeah, he was talking about going on top of a mountain and man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, he not gonna call her back.
hmm
Uh-uh.
So Kevin kept pushing the agenda. Why doesn't he think that Jasmine is attractive? Era said, he doesn't want to disrespect Jasmine, her friends, or her family, so he's going to keep whatever it is to himself. I'm thinking, is that bad that it would come across disrespectful to Jasmine and her family as to why you're not attracted to her? How come he just can't say something normal, just like there was no spark, or she just not the
Do
the
she
type I would
like? Do
normally.
she stink? Like, what is it? She too hairy or something? Like, I'm trying, or like I was thinking the whole time. Like we always thinking, like it's got to be the teeth, but I
But
don't know.
her grill is fixed now.
Yeah, it's fixed now, but I
Yeah,
mean, no,
but
but why would that disrespect Jazz? He said Jasmine, her family, and her friends. I'm like, he was very specific about the things he
I
would say.
feel like it's really because whatever conversation they had surrounding their mutual friend that he smashed, I guarantee you it has to do with that. Because if I went back to my family and said, yeah, he had sex with, so and so,
Uh-huh.
my family would be like, oh, hell no. It's a no.
Mm-hmm.
right.
Wow. Yeah. So again, Kevin, when he told Kevin, he's like, well, I'm really curious. And Eric was like, well, you're just going to have to keep being curious. I'm like, Kevin, just leave it alone. Because he's not going to say nothing. It just is what it is. Now, when we saw the unseen clips with them at the honeymoon, and he was
Mhm.
talking about having a polyamorous or polygamous open marriage.
Open marriage.
I thought he talked about that already, or did we just assume that's what he wanted just by his conversation?
We assumed it. I didn't see that clip before.
Okay, because I'm like, I know we low key talked about or assumed that with Eris because that's just the vibe he gave off. So to me, I'm thinking like that's not really a secret. Like your aura, your energy says that you like to be beyond the freak in the streets. You like to do other things with other people, just based off the comments, right?
Yeah, but what threw me off was why in 20 years?
Yeah.
Right.
You don't start at 20. You gonna have kids and all that.
That's a
Why you
lot.
got? That's too much explaining. You might as well go ahead and start it off. And why would you, if that's what you want? If that's what you wanted, you should have never got on this show. You on the wrong show.
Yeah, the wrong show. Maybe in 20
Um,
years, you know how some men just like look at all the actors that's had new babies, like
yeah. Al
Pacino, 83,
Pacino.
somebody else is like 78, almost 80. So
Yeah.
maybe he figures like by the time, women are under a particular stigma that after there's a certain age by some people, they're considered like, washed up. So you want to get bigger and better. So some men think that. So maybe
But
that's
you
what.
don't know what you're gonna look like at 60. What are you talking about? How you know you gonna be?
I mean, well, he is 40 and he looks pretty young. He could go for 20 something
Yeah,
right now. So
yeah.
I mean,
So I
but
guess when
either
he's 60,
way,
he gonna be 40. Okay.
Well, your face may still display 60. Your body may not. That's the
yeah.
Once you
point.
take that shirt off, you go,
No, and anything that functions underneath the shirt and anything else may
oh,
not function. Whether it be knees or anything else. I'm just saying.
So Jasmine had me cracking up because she kept saying Eris is the person that says three sentences when he just need to stop at two.
Yeah.
It was like literally the entire show. That's exactly what I was thinking, but I couldn't put words to it. So the
Uh-huh.
fact that she's been around him enough to know, like, he always gonna add that extra sentence that he don't need to say out loud. Like, I was
hmm
cracking up the whole show.
You know what? Eric said that when he's under stress or when he was taping all those hours, he would just tend to say anything. But the things that
Mhm.
seemed like he was had a tendency to say was sexual innuendos. So, your mind revolves around that all the time. I can't be bothered. Someone like me can be bothered. Let's see. Frappes and T said, we don't want to see, I'm guessing you're saying Eris on Seeking Sister Wives. That's what we want to see.
I mean, that sounds like it's perfect for him.
right.
Right?
But
Seeking sister.
Jasmine was a thug this episode though. She wasn't playing with Mac. She turned around, was like, "What don't?" Like when he was commenting, talking about, I think Eris was what he was saying about
Yeah.
Eris being confused. It was
Mm-hmm.
a short process, and she was like, "You don't know all the business, so don't comment." I was like, "Oh,
Yeah, because he wasn't even in this process. He don't have no right to say nothing. Stay in your little lane of being married for 11 days, okay?
Right. That would
I
have been
know."
funny.
He was like, "Look like Dom was right." I was like,
Mm. Yeah.
or
So
that
when
was his backup plan, one of the two.
Yeah.
who, Mac to get out after 11 days?
No, his backup plan was Michigan. Like he probably
Oh,
had something solid out there. Then Michigan, some people got like jobs they can go back to.
that's true. That's true. But his business, what he does, he could go anywhere where it's legal. So
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, so what did you think about when Jasmine's cousin Adrian came on the show to say that she was concerned about Jasmine's mental health, how they're watching the show back? She felt that Eris didn't give it a fair chance and all this stuff that she was saying. I agree with her. Do you agree with her too?
I completely agree with everything she said. And I feel like she was like trying to actually hold him accountable. But she was also like, she did it in a classy way. Like, you could
Yeah.
tell that she came in there with the energy, like she wanted to read him basically, but she was like, I'm not gonna embarrass you. Like, obviously, like I feel like there was a mutual respect, in my opinion. And I
Mhm.
thought that she said what
A
she had to
respect,
say in
excuse
a
me, a respect for who? Jasmine?
no, I think that there was just respect between her. Like she respected Eris enough to like give him his little few minutes to say what
Okay.
he had to say, but she
Mhm.
still held him accountable at the same time.
Okay. Okay. I mean, she did say, how was he to know that once the camera stopped rolling or they was being intimate, Jasmine could be the Megan the Stallion when everything,
I
he
said
found
that.
out.
I said that in the honeymoon. I remember saying that. I'm like, she is the type of woman that is reserved, but the marriage bed is undefiled. Okay. She was waiting for a husband to get it on with.
Right.
He just fumbled the bag.
His
Mm-hmm.
back sauces in business.
Frappes and T says, since Max Sauce is in the business of, you think he would have tried to get on the Denver season?
Valid.
Maybe he did, knowing him.
I don't know. I don't know how soon they do the process. Which show goes up first, who they interview first. I don't know. Either way, Mac doesn't seem like he was ready to be married either. Not because he didn't have a house. He just didn't seem mentally he was ready to get married. I mean, some people feel that just because they reach a particular age that, oh, I should be married now when you're not ready. You know what I'm saying? So there shouldn't be like a time limit on that. And let me throw in having children as well. So
Yeah,
red
Mac
flag.
was. I
Cynthia
thought
said,
she seems cool, but yeah,
yeah.
her teeth are.
Oh my God. Cynthia says Jasmine looked beautiful. Her new teeth were very bright.
They definitely were. It took me a minute to realize. I was like, oh, she looked different. She's glowing. I'm like, oh, she got her teeth done.
Yeah.
And
Frappe
she still
said she
look good. You ain't even have to get your teeth done, Jasmine, but it's all right. You took care of business. That ain't nothing wrong with that. You taking care of business.
Frappe and T dropped that tea a couple weeks ago. She saw that before. I mean, her or Sharon. One of the two told me. All right, so let's move to Chris and Nicole. So Kevin gave them an apology for saying he didn't think they would work out because Nicole would be overbearing. He said he thought that maybe Nicole would drive him crazy. I still think Nicole drives Chris crazy. I can't be
Yeah.
convinced otherwise. That's her personality, right? To just
Yeah,
be
I
like,
agree. She's an
you know,
overthinker.
yeah,
I'm just
overthinker.
surprised they didn't rent a house. That's what's just zoning me out about them. Like, why y'all didn't rent a house?
With all those dogs.
3 dogs in a part, like
That's
one dog.
ridiculous.
How your house can have your house smelling like dog. 3.
Right. Go ahead, Devontae.
But I mean, I don't think I told y'all. I was like, he gonna be the one dude that can deal with it. It's somebody for everybody. You just gotta look. Sometimes you gotta look at weird places, and I think Chris is patient,
Uh-huh.
And you don't know what's going on behind them doors. It might be worth it in the end. You know what they say about the crazy ones.
That's true, and the quiet ones. So, Chris, when they showed the clips of when, remember at the honeymoon, Chris was crying and breaking down, and we was like, "What's he crying for?" And it was about the dogs and how Nicole stepped up. He said that's how he knew that Nicole was the one for him. I said, "Okay, if you say
Yeah,
so."
because somebody could have really went in on him like, you ain't no man crying over no dog.
Yep. And then not they really didn't have a whole lot to say, honestly. They're in their apartment. They talked about what makes them stick, what makes them tick. They just showed them little clips of that dinosaur costume at the retreat and how, he was being a good sport to wear it. They called the dad, and you touched on that, Jazz, about calling the dad about the BDE energy and how the dad, I, I thought that was a little much, honestly, too.
I feel like the dad, Vince was like, "Who paid this man to read this whole spiel that he's giving right now?" Like it
About
was
the
like
family and their
he had a
uncle.
cue card.
Yeah. Frappe and T said, give them a year and check in. Now,
Agreed.
one thing that they are possibly going to bump heads with is Chris wants children and she doesn't. She said she'll revisit in the next year or two, but Chris is
They gonna
adamant.
have kids.
You think
She
so?
don't have a kid with him.
Probably like
That's
3,
what he
4 of them.
wants.
Watch.
4?
Yeah,
Dolores.
she down. She down. She found somebody. She found somebody to deal with her. You better pop out at least bare minimum 2.
Chris said he wants 3. So we'll see. I don't know.
Right, Chris is
Just
pushing
imagine
it.
Nicole as a mother.
Man, but Chris ain't got no kids. So everybody say 2, 3. Then sometime that 1 bring that 4 down to 2, or just 1.
Yeah. Cynthia says Chris's dogs to me are emotional support for him. Yeah. Well,
But they don't understand. 3 dogs and a baby. That's gonna be. I ain't got no baby and I got 1 dog, and that's a lot. So I don't know.
well, having a dog is like having a toddler.
Yeah.
That's
And
what
then they
say.
got 3 of them.
Yep, 3 dogs. Well, Nicole says they're brothers, so there you go. But Kevin said that the experts did a perfect job when putting these 2 couples together. He's like, see, it's not always about drama and this and that. I'm like, don't give the experts no kudos. This was 1 couple out of how many? How many? Right?
5.
Right. When he said that, I was like, Kevin, this experiment does not work. Work is based on averages. The average couple on this show break up. So this experiment does not work. But it don't work because the experts don't expert. So maybe it do work. It's just they not doing their job.
Right. So after them, Kevin sits down with all the ladies. So I'm gonna start with the lady. What do you think about that, Jazz? What do you think about the round robin of the ladies saying what each other needed in a man and what they were doing now and stuff like that? What do you think about that?
I still don't like Nicole. She's so damn nosy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, so Kirsten needs Shaq. Like, stop right now.
She said her intuition. Remember her intuition on the show about the whatever happened that didn't work out, or was that with Eris and Jasmine with the psychic reader? Like, I just know, I have a feeling.
She knows everything, but she knows nothing.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. What do you think when they said about Gina needing a man with swag? And Gina had a man with swag. She just didn't like his comment about the slender.
Until Gina chill out on that work, the way she talk about work and working all that time, her man gonna be in the top drawer.
Not the top drawer.
That's the best man for her. It ain't got nothing to do with no swag.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't got nothing to do with that. First of all, she boring. She boring. It was not one time we was all like, Gina pretty funny. Oh, she boring. Like, she just be sitting there like
just looking.
She like that weird, if your friend got a weird spouse and then they come over, you like, oh, please don't ever. Oh, bro, he done brought Tiffany. She about to be sitting in the corner while we all taking shots. You done brought the girl that don't drink. It's weird.
Got you. Dolores says, I'm hoping the experts will be more involved next season. We've been saying that for so many seasons.
We are the experts. We expert more than them. We need their job.
Exactly.
But I was confused though.
Okay.
When the people was saying that how they was getting approached on the streets and stuff. How did they get approached if the show didn't come out? So how who knew?
You know what it is though. You got to remember we've been watching this show for 6 freaking months.
Yes.
The show ended. This thing was taped in March.
Mm-hmm.
So for part of the time that they were like, even like from January to March, what? From January to March, they were not recording, and they were just around Nashville.
Right. 6 months is a long time. Exactly. What do you think about when the lady said for Dom what she needed? She needed someone outdoorsy and someone who fished. I think Dom needs to like another about 5-6 years before she decides what it is that she really wants.
Dom reminds me, what she wants reminds me of what was the girl? I'm Not a Bad Person in Boston.
Alyssa.
She said she wanted a cowboy in Boston. That's what Dom remind me of.
She did say that. Yep. We see how that worked out. It didn't, right? So
I agree with you, Auntie K. I agree with you. I don't think she know what she want yet. I don't know what she look. I think that's what she gotta like discover about herself.
Uh-huh.
But I don't think she know what she want. But I mean, somebody. I don't know if they need to be outdoorsy. I just think they need to be willing to go outside because we ain't seen her talk about fishing. But I guess they didn't stay on the show that long.
She did talk about fishing because I'm pretty sure.
Oh.
But like before she got matched, like if I remember correctly, I feel like Pascal pulled up on her and she was fishing or something.
She did say before she got married that she wanted someone to go fishing with her because she was used to doing the outdoorsy thing. She did, but yes, you can have the same hobbies, but Dom, since she's just so like, oh, I don't like the way his humor and this and that, just different little things she don't like. She just needs to grow up some before she discovers what it is that she likes, for real. That's all I gotta say. Now, when Kevin showed the ladies the clips of the men sitting around talking about they already had sex and everything else, that was shady too. Now I think about it, what was the point of that? What was the point of that? Like, oh, we're not surprised. Was anybody surprised Eris and Clint had sex? But again, we saw that 2 shows ago.
That was TMI. We didn't need to know all of that.
Right?
Clint, when he was talking about I broke my pelvis, I was sitting there getting weak. I was like, that's embarrassing. I said, they trying to not get you no women. I broke my pelvis on there. Like, what?
Vince, second half of the Jasmine show says we didn't get to hear what Dom's mom was looking for in a man. Yeah, we did. We did. When she
my God, Vince.
We did. It was Matt.
So, but anyway, so that's enough of them. So let's move to Clint and Gina. And you know what? Let's go ahead and start with Devontae. What you think about your girl Gina and her business adventures? And she's saying she actually lost $100,000 in the build out of the store. Her employees quit. She had all kind of stress where she just couldn't focus on the show. She had so many hurdles. That was one of her issues.
So if she lost out on $100,000, that means what we seen on TV was not her salon. That must be just where she at till her stuff get built. Because that looked pretty built to us. So I'm like, where's the $100,000?
Well, what we saw in the show was like the Phoenix Suites thing. So it's basically like a salon suites that are already set up and you just rent them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got a friend where they do nails and stuff. Yeah. Okay, I know what you mean. Oh, yeah, well, I mean, I feel like I was annoyed watching them because I was like, why are we talking to them? Kevin kept on, would you consider getting back together down the road? I was like, stop asking them that. She gonna say the same thing. I said, they both gaslight us. Well, maybe, you never know. We know. No, they're not getting together. He don't even live in the building. Like, they ain't got together and he's still walking her dog. And he'd have been drunk probably before. It's not gonna happen.
One thing Clint didn't mention was Hank, though. He didn't say a word about Hank. Maybe because he's moved on with a new girlfriend. The new girlfriend's like, you better not go back over there, kind of thing. He didn't say nothing about the dog. Not one thing. Remember, he wanted to pay $10,000 for Hank once before. So this time, I guess they just let it go. Clint said that people have suggested that if him and Gina had sex, that maybe it would have been the catalyst to jumpstart their relationship.
I think that's dumb advice sometimes. Sometimes I feel like it makes sense. Like, I feel like I hate to say it, with Kirsten and Shaq, I feel like it did kind of help. But there was at least a little bit of interest there. But Gina and Clint were not interested in each other.
Let me see what they say in these
Why
comments.
would they have sex? For what?
Mm-hmm. I agree. They weren't. No, they weren't. I just think that comment took it out, and then that was it. It doesn't matter how much Clint apologized. I mean, his whole time on the show was the apology tour, right? So there's really no spark. The only thing that they seemed like they had a really good time is when they went to the rodeo. That seemed like that was something that Gina wanted to do. Remember the rodeo night when she had a few drinks, she was in her element.
Yeah, but I felt like she could have had that good time with me too. That's just a rodeo. It ain't really like, it still was not romantic. They wasn't holding hands and, stuff like events, like you see stuff. I had a good time tonight, or like it's fun. You have a little kiss there. They ain't had none of that.
Yeah. So
it was just like being out with her boy.
Yeah, they give big friend energy for real. Like, I feel like they are actually friends. That's their body language. That's what it was giving to me. I'm like, they actually like each other as people. Like, they're friends. But like, you had like somebody that like, oh, this person is cute, but you just a friend with them. Like, you can't see anything more than that, and that's okay. So they need to stop posting it.
I personally am on the opposite of that. I think they were friendly because of the show. I think Clint would be a friend regardless. I don't necessarily think Gina would be. I think it was really the source of the show. I think she could see that Clint's not a bad guy, because she said that a few times, like, oh, he's not a bad guy. He's really a good guy. Because there's too many little quirks that she doesn't like about Clint. So I don't think they would be, if it wasn't for this show, I don't think, and she was on camera, I don't think they would be friends. I think that she would just stay away.
I do agree with that, actually. Yeah.
Sharon says Gina's boring. She don't even know what she wants. Dolores says the reunion didn't reveal any new information. Right. Fred Payson T said, Vontae, did you feed your... You can read it.
Yeah, he about to eat. He ain't getting on it though.
Cynthia says Gina likes Max. So, all right. So let's move to Shaquille and Kirsten. I know that's what everybody's been waiting for. Now, I will say, when I saw the preview of the show, when Shaquille said, oh, yeah, I talked to a prophet, I said, oh, who? Oh, what? Oh, what? I literally watched that clip about 4 or 5 times. I'm like, did I hear that right? A prophet, someone that he calls a pastor. So to me, you can't be both. You're either a pastor or you're a prophet. 2 different things in my book, if that's what you believe. That this person talked Shaquille into possibly saying no because of what reason? Did he give a valid reason? Because I didn't hear him give a valid reason. I just heard him say he was just talked into his decision because he wasn't really sure of the answer until he actually sat on the couch. So what was he talked into or guided by from the prophet/pastor?
I feel like his hesitation in saying what made him hesitate proves that he should not have hesitated. Does that make sense? He was hesitant to tell us that it was a prophet that told him something, which means that he already thinks that his decision was probably goofy, which it was. Because I'm gonna need something besides some external person that's not in my relationship to tell me that I need to get a divorce.
Right. You're like, that's it. But what did he say though? Did he say what was said? Did I miss it?
He said, make a decision. He said, you have an important decision coming up and you need to make a decision for you, not for anyone else. He's something like that.
But he knew that already. You don't need someone to tell you that. You know what your time frame is. You know what your feelings say or don't say. You don't need, like you said, an external factor to tell you that. So by the time he talked to this person and then got to the couch, the answer went from yes to no. Like, make it make sense. Now, me personally, just by watching them, I know, Jazz, you already thought they would say yes. I personally thought he would say no. I just did because, again, he gives another person that's not ready, but based off of emotionally not ready for whatever happened to him along the way. So I thought he would say no, but even though he doesn't have to explain why, his explanation as to why didn't add up, is what I'm saying. So I think that also, too, threw Kirsten off with his explanation as to why he said no, and the reasons when they did meet up to talk about, she's still like, no, I still don't get it. So she said she had to take time to regroup, recommit herself and heal. So I get that with her, but he just is like, is he that to be, maybe I shouldn't say it this way, but I'm going to, because I can't think of another way to say it. For him to be a PhD candidate who would have to give a dissertation on something that he did research on to prove facts to a group of peers who are already doctorates, to have this small little situation to be like, you know what, I just got a phone call, now my answer is no. That don't go together.
No.
Anyways,
I feel like it all goes back to the fact that, if I remember correctly, he hadn't had a lot of relationships. So he doesn't know. And I feel like a lot of guys are like that at that age, where they're like, if a relationship has if there's arguments or like discourse or like any sort of like things that they deem as negative in a relationship that people know is a normal part of a relationship, like, you're not always going to be on the same page. Sometimes you got to communicate about things that are uncomfortable, but like, I feel like he thinks that is a negative thing in a relationship, but it's actually a positive thing because it helps you grow in a relationship.
Right.
So I think that him not having all of that relationship experience is the issue here, because his expectations of what marriage is supposed to look like is not realistic.
Okay. What are your thoughts, Devontae?
That's a fact. Yeah, I was gonna say that. I was like, I don't understand why he thought, like, what about whatever we seen made you feel like you wasn't good enough for her? I'm like, other than the house, oh well. Like, I think she was gonna have to come down from that anyway. She know you ain't making that kind of money anyway, or at least you ain't making it right now. And so I was just like, when he kept trying to explain himself, it just kept getting worse and worse. I was like, just say you just didn't want to be with her because you should have just made something up.
Yeah. He just
kept saying like not supported, and then his examples every time Kevin kept asking him, so what was she not supporting you on? You was sick. She made you a basket. She didn't make it to all your events, but she went to some. Y'all still did things on off camera. Like, what more do you need? You not coming home talking to your wife. So what are you talking about? Support how? You making me feel like I gotta choose you over my family and all that. You do.
So I'm
gonna go back married, fool.
Right. Go back and read 3 comments. Starting with Vince. I see how he could have felt some imposter syndrome, but he was already married to someone that was willing to work on it. Right. And then Sharon says Shaq was scared even though he wanted to be married. He found out quickly it was going to take work. And then Cynthia says, I still don't understand why Kirsten said yes to staying in the marriage. And Frat Face and T, I don't know what your message is. It's giving IU. I don't know what that means. Maybe.
Oh, no. I thought it. I thought I'd do it.
Do you know what it means, Jazz?
I'm searching right now.
Okay, we don't know.
Look it up on Google. How we doing that?
It's IUIC.
Oh, Israelite Church of God in Jesus Christ.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Jehovah's Witness.
Religious group. Okay.
No, the Israelites, ain't that's the black people?
She just said, we'll just leave it at a religious group for YouTube purposes, just in case.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that.
And then Delora says Shaq is too needy.
Shaq wants a mother. He's talking about support. He wants a parent. That's what it's giving. Because, moms be loving you like unconditionally and cheer you on no matter what type of foolishness you on. That's what he wants.
Some moms all moms don't do that. I know some people who don't have moms like that. In my kids' peer group, some, they just don't have a relationship with their parents. But I'm the type of mom. I'll go ahead and admit it. Let me say, should I say used to be? Because I know one of them will say you kind of are still. I used to be, but I'm getting better at being the mom that would be like, I know you've seen the clip that I sent you to. not the lady that was, dancing with the daughter, not that person. Maybe back in the day. But like, where are you going? What are you doing? What time are you gonna be back? Who's your friend? I was one of those, I'm not gonna lie, but that's how they grew up. They just had me primarily at a young age going forward. So I'm just used to that. And my thing is, even for you all, it's always about, the reason why I do that is safety first. All it takes is one text. You text me once, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? Don't make me have to text you. If I got to text you, that's when that's what I call problems. That's when we got problems. I'm blowing your phone out.
Oh my God. You just like my mom. You don't text back fast enough. Oh my God. What happened? Like, what are you talking about?
Exactly. That's
my phone was in the room.
But I hate to say it, but I'm kind of that friend too. Like if me and my friends go out, I'm like, text me when you get home. And I will literally stay up until they get home. Or I'll tell them like, did you make it home?
Yeah. So when you become a parent, it's the same thing is gonna come through with that too. But that's just about, I'm concerned, that's just what I might be. They call me overly concerned, but as a mom, I don't think I could be overly concerned. I don't care how old they are. But Shaq, I still think from whatever happened with the accident from when he was younger to growing up and he wasn't able to do certain things and all that just built the case up for him as to what he's still looking for and longing for, maybe in the opposite sex or whatever. And I also think that, did one of y'all say it already or someone in the chat? That I don't think he has also a lot of dating experience either. I don't think so. I honestly don't think so. So, yeah. Do you think that when he said for the cliffhanger next week, what caused him to say no? And is he still going to say no if he wants to give it a chance? Do you think he'll say yes?
I think that he secretly want to say yes, but I don't think he's going to be man enough to straight up say, I made a mistake and I did want to say yes and I want to work it out. But I know Kirsten is going to, if she is even open to it, she's going to force him to have to just man up and say it. And I don't think he will.
Would you be able to trust it though if you were Kirsten? Would you be able to trust that he said yes now after the fact? Would you be able to?
I don't think he's going to have to prove himself. That's a big thing to do. It's a huge thing to tell somebody you want a divorce and then be like, you know what, I made a mistake. Like, so he has a lot to prove.
I don't think Kirsten, and see, to prove my point, hold on a second. Let me, I text when you were talking, I text to Cassandra, I was like, ma'am, because I haven't heard from her in about 30 minutes. She's supposed to be somewhere. And she just texted here. So I'm about to give her the thumbs up because she know I'm about to be like, ma'am, until she answers. See, look. Can y'all see? Maybe not. I don't know. Anyways, the top line is me. It says, ma'am. If I say ma'am, that means you've been off the grid for a minute. What's going on? It's time. Tell me something. Anyway. Right. I know she don't like it, but safety. I think that he's going to still say no. I really do. I think he's still going to say no. I don't think he's going to, even if he feels it's a yes, I don't think he'll be right now man enough to say it. And I think maybe because he said that he was going to therapy, maybe once he completes therapy, maybe he'll find out what it is that he's looking for in a soulmate. And if it's someone with Kirsten qualities, maybe. So, but I just don't think so. And the way that Kirsten was talking about, she said she was traveling, going to Hawaii soon. She didn't say we was going to Hawaii. She said, I'm going to Hawaii soon. So, yeah, I think they both need to move on too.
She said something like, all the people be coming to view houses and be like, oh, I know you. And she's like, okay, but you going to buy this house?
Yeah.
She was giving her money. I love it.
She said, I need, right.
So what do you
Shaq know he messed up.
That's something.
He's easily influenced by the outside of his marriage. Clearly with the pastor prophet friend. What do you think about that, Devontae? If you have a comment about that, when you heard him say he heard from a prophet about what he should do.
Man, when he said that, y'all, I said what we call each other, what we should be saying, but I was like, this here.
Uh-huh.
That's what I was thinking the whole time. I was like, a prophet, Shaq, a prophet. This your lie. A prophet called you. I said, so the prophet let you get married and did all that before he said something. Then this prophet your mama? Was this prophet sound like your mama? Because I'm
And if
like, who? But still, why you ain't just say my mama? My mama was like, nah, she don't support you. That ain't the one for you. Because that's what it sounded like. That's probably his mom's cause. Like, baby, I don't think.
Yeah, Vince said the prophet is Eris's cousin.
turn your phone off. Turn your phone off. No, sir. No, sir.
Like Shaq, she don't like you like that. I used to party with her back in the day. You know.
Right. The last person he advice from is from Eris, his cousin, and everybody else. But I guess I don't know. I agree with that comment that he's easily influenced outside of his marriage. Clearly, so maybe that's when he was on the show, spending all that time at the mentoring and at the college. Remember all the time he was spending away, and Kirsten was saying, "Well, you're never here." When they hit that part of the show, yeah. So maybe he was getting
But
opinions
why
from
they
other
don't
people.
talk about like fight? They used to do. They taking the fun out of Married at First Sight. Like what? Where's the finance talk? Like that's when it was good. We like
Mhm.
okay. Like you seeing if stuff adding up, that that'll be bring a little bit more. Be like, oh, that's why she don't like him. He only make 26,000. Like,
That's probably why they took it out.
Nah,
You
it was
know,
not.
oh,
It
me
was
and
after
Michael.
Mika.
Michael,
That was it.
that
They
will
were the
forever,
last.
that will forever tickle me. When you said you was the yoga instructor, and then you was the janitor. Oh my!
Was he really
I
the
was like,
janitor?
they ain't
He
say
was
he
probably
was the janitor. They confirmed that he was cleaning up. So
You couldn't believe a word Michael had to say. So that's what I'm saying. Was he really the
I knew
janitor?
he was lying since that Jeep. I knew it. So it
The
only
Jeep,
got 5,000 miles on it. I was like, why that specific Jeep? Like, what is going?
the
Like,
Jeep,
no.
the honeymoon, remember the trip for the month anniversaries? They never went on none of that, but that's neither here nor there. I'm sure Michael,
Hmm.
he's gotten married, he's moved on now too. So congratulations to Michael and his wife or whoever she may be. So, all right. So that was really it for this first part of the reunion. But next week, we're going to see Dom is crying, says she feels like a failure. So I wonder who she's talking to. Is she talking to somebody or is she talking about herself? What do y'all think?
I hope she's talking about herself.
I
Yeah.
don't know. Or
I
the
mean,
marriage? You never
because I mean,
know.
she really didn't. She really didn't try. So maybe
She
she
didn't.
just seeing everybody else like, dang, I didn't even give it a try. Like, I could at least had
Yeah.
a friend. I don't know.
Mm. Gina and Mac are talking about maybe a second date, even though I already got the tea from Miss Tamika, says that she heard that they already been on a second date. So I don't know. Y'all think they could work out?
I don't
No.
really like Mac. I'm finding out that I don't like Mac, and maybe this is what Dom was seeing about him, because like even the way he jumped into like the Finn errors, that rubbed me the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
I
His
feel like,
personality.
yeah, I don't really love his personality. I thought I did at first. I was like, damn, she dogged him out. That's messed up. But now he might have been saying some slick stuff that we didn't see on the camera.
Well, she said he did. She
Yeah, I
said
believe
that at the
it.
very beginning. Yeah. Fred Payson says no, he's a snake. Yeah, his personality comes across a little.
Oh, I forgot. He talked to Gina, somebody who Clint was married to. Yeah, he can't be trusted. I
Right.
don't
He
like
can't be.
him.
Right. I'm about to say, Kane can be trusted. Y'all thinking about it?
No, he can't be trusted.
I was
I
like,
don't.
he the ultimate bro code violation.
Yeah,
That's my wife. That's
Right.
fighting terms.
yeah,
So if you would do it on camera for people you don't know, literal strangers, everybody, not just your wife, you would do it to your real friend group too.
yeah.
So Dolores says no, Dina and Mac won't work out. I don't think they will either. And then we see Dr. Pepper and Pastor Cal looking at Shaquilla and Kirsten. Uh, Pastor Cal going like, so if you have emotions, what is this all about? Because Kirsten is dabbing at her eyes. Shaq always seems like he's in touch with his emotions anyways.
Mhm.
And then Dr. Pepper says, I'm glad that he regrets it. And I'm like, why is Dr. Pepper beating her feelings? Talk about, I hope he regrets it. That's not professional, Dr. Pepper. And just because, again, they look good on paper, they look good sitting next to each other, doesn't mean someone is your forever. You know, I was like, that's very something that she would say to somebody, right? Get out your feelings. Think about it. What would you do in this situation? Think first. Did you think first, Dr. Pepper? I'm glad he regrets it. I said, oh my goodness.
I mean, I gotta say it. I really wish they would have gave it a year. I wish they would have gave it a year and seen where they could get to. Because I think that their communication styles are very different, and nobody's ever been married. Like, y'all both been single. So like I think that it would take a while to settle in to see if it actually is gonna work or not. But this is only 8 weeks, so it is what it is. But I do think that they could have made it work.
I'm just a firm believer in, I said it in my review, and I'll say it until I can't say no more. If your mind, body, and soul don't match, nothing's going to work. I don't care what it is, a relationship, friendship, job, nothing. So if one is like, okay, maybe, if your communication is off and on through the 8-week process every day, somebody's is not telling the truth. Is it Kirsten not telling the truth? Because like until very late, it came across like maybe she might be okay with going forward. Because in the beginning, she wasn't giving that to me. I wasn't seeing it from her in the beginning where Shaq was, and seemed like they flipped, midway and then moved on. But still, they weren't matching up with themselves. And then they weren't matching up with each other, in my opinion. So just because you might see how it is after 8 weeks, why would you continue with the stress if you don't have to? How come you can't let some time go by? And what they say, if it's meant for you, it's meant for you. If you reach out, say, hey, how you doing? Catch a movie, catch a whatever, and then try to build that way, fine. But not just like push it on a couple because, we've never been married. We're on the show to see if we can work out because the experts said we match. To me, that doesn't line up. But do you have any comments about that, Devontae?
I think y'all got it right.
That's it. Dolores says Dr. Pepper and Pastor Cal really wanted Curse and Shaq to stay together. They wanted a lot of people.
They jobs on the line.
That's it then. Let them go.
That's why Dr. Pepper was like, I hope it him. Gonna get me fired.
Still,
Dr. Pepper not getting fired. She been here from the jump.
Yeah. I just think that, like I said, just because you look good together, if it doesn't add up internally, it's not going to add up externally, no matter what it is.
Why they just don't have them as like senior experts that bring on Megan Good, Devon, bring him on like junior expert or something. Or like y'all take 2 couples, we take 2 couples. Let's see the competition.
I think they need to bring back. Well, they probably can't bring her back, but Dr. Jessica was very good. She was
that the one who married the dude that was on the show?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. She was very involved. Dr. Viviana need to come back and start reading people like she would do occasionally as well. Because
she would have tore Eris up.
Yes, and with her.
Like, so you're 40 years old trying to have an open marriage. Okay.
Right. As much as I didn't particularly care for Dr. Viviana, I think that she would have did some of these couples justice on this season because of what she know and how she could redirect them. But as far as Dr. Jessica goes, she was good when she was on her seasons, but the show was also very different during that time. They did a lot of different things. Like they didn't know who they were going to marry. We didn't see the pictures. They literally we didn't know, just like they didn't know. They talked about the finances. They had to find their own place to live. They had to do all kind of things that normal couples do. They weren't catered to like they are now. Like, this is your man, this is where you're going, this is what you're doing. And so then they just, have it easy, and then they have to figure it out versus real life experiences. That's what the difference is to me. Right. So what'd you say, Vince? Love the experts, but the success rate is not looking great. Not at all. Who's going to have
if they're not going to be more involved, I just feel like, what's the point of having experts? Just let them go.
I think they need to stop hammering out these seasons like that. Like, I feel like if they took the time and they said, all right, you got to be, the process is 6 months to even get
I
to
was
the
about to
season.
say they need
Like,
the
you
90
have to
Day
do 6 months
Fiance.
of going through all the matchmaking and 6 months of therapy and evaluations and all that stuff. I think that makes more sense.
Or even add an extra 4 weeks to it, if not 6 months. Add 12 weeks to it. Because 8 weeks,
Something.
you already had the honeymoon for like 10 days. You got to meet the family and all that, like right now. So by the time you even get settled in with your job and this and that, that's 4 to 5 weeks right there. And then you'll really have 3 weeks left to get to really know whoever you're trying to know with the other activities that they're throwing you all with. So maybe 12 weeks to start, like 3 months, like a job, like 90 days.
Maybe they should Love is Blinded too. Like Love is Blinded. Let them talk to the other person before. Give them a couple women to talk to, figure out the one they like the best. Then if they have a connection, then like seeing her, it's gonna be just.
I think that's a great idea because I feel like it would help them to better match. To even see how people interact, but not like in person, obviously, but like just
They
talking
gonna
to each
steal
other.
my idea. They ain't gonna cut me no check. I need a
Look
piece
at
of my
you.
money.
Look at you.
I'm a producer.
All right. You heard it here first, right?
Intellectual property.
There you go.
Right.
All right. So speaking of 90, that was in an episode. We'll be here next week, Thursday. Lord willing, the creek don't rise. But we have 90 Day Fiance Before the 90 Days, 90 Day Love in Paradise, and Match Me Abroad we're reviewing. Hopefully everyone has got a chance to catch up on the shows if you haven't already. And I'm thinking I would like to do, I don't know if Match Me Abroad is going to do like a tell-all because it's a brand new show. But after the season ends, because I don't think there's that many more episodes of that show, I'll go live for that because the show is very, very interesting. I know the Jasmine show follows and a few people that's already in the chat right now with us on this live follows as well. So that's a good one. And then Devontae, are you caught up on the 90 Day Fiance franchise?
I'm caught up on both of them.
Okay. All right. So we'll be looking
I'm
to hear your
good now.
comments. Okay. We'll be looking to hear your comments along with everybody else soon. So any final things to say, chat?
There better be some tea next week, is all I'm saying.
The cliffhanger is going to be Shaquille. Watch. That's it. What else? I mean, Clinton, Gina, nothing. Chris, Nicole, nothing. Eris and Jasmine, they're not together. So who's left?
But if he say yes, what is that gonna do? He already moved to Austin. Do she want to leave?
Yeah, but then we hear something about people seeing her in Austin or something with him.
I don't know.
I mean, she could have just went
As
to
a
Texas.
couple or at events? Because I've seen different pictures of different cast members at different events. So
I don't know. Don't get me to lying. I'm just saying.
Dolores says, when is this season over? Technically, it's over next week, but there's a where are they now? What's the tea? Like another 3 to 4 weeks, technically. So I'm just going to put it out there like this. I'm going to do the reunion. I'll put up what I'm going to do because I'm not doing all the extra stuff because it's nothing to talk about, in my opinion. Hold on, let me find the picture. I just clicked off the picture. Sorry. I am going to do, oh Lord, did I take the whole picture off? Ooh, I did. Sorry, Dolores. But reunion next part 2 next week. I'm sorry. And then after that, it's all about the tea. So 2 weeks, I'll do live for 2 weeks. The rest of the stuff they can have because, I mean, does anyone care about the where are they now and the tea from A to Z and a look back? Anybody concerned about the look back at Nashville?
Absolutely not.
I'm gonna watch that though, but it's probably not gonna be that much.
Okay, well, I'm not going to do it live. I'll concentrate on the 90 Day franchise. And also coming back out is Ready to Love. So Ready to Love Dallas. I'll be doing that. So anyways, all right. Well, thank you. I will be live on Monday for 90 Day Before the 90 Days. So hopefully you will both join. If not, leave your comments on the replay, please. And thank you.
All right. Bye.
So thank you all. Have a good evening and good night, chat. I will see you
too.
all next week. Good night. Take care, everyone.